You want to make this faster?
The publisher controls everything.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should sacrifice your integrity just for the sake of selling some toys or...
Try Again is a small platformer story game from 2023, following a game designer, Sophie, her sentient protagonist named Benny, as she quickly finishes the game so she can show it to her publishers. Benny loves to mock her, but he's tired of being a test character, and he wants to be in the finished game. This game was a student-led project from students from, these colleges. It's on their website. I absolutely love this. I really hope there's a sequel. The game is short. I finished it in 17 minutes. But what this game can do in 17 minutes, most games can't do in an hour. A tale of a somehow sentient video game character who's tired of being in an unfinished project, and the developer, who's of course stressed about deadlines and probably also wants to be done with the game. Will she sacrifice her creative abilities for dollar bills, y'all? Let's talk about that. It was like a GMM thing, yeah, whatever. So sit back, relax, and enjoy my story of Try Again 2023. Try Again starts with a line of code saying that the system is initiating. And then suddenly, a phone starts to ring.
Hello? Yes, this is Sophie. Yeah, of course. I've been working nonstop on the game. I cannot wait for you guys to see it. Oh, you're coming here tomorrow. Damn it!
Sophie is low-key freaking the fuck out. She starts to yell at a man named Benny. And Benny isn't her lazy boyfriend, he's in the video game.
Benny, wake up, right now. Benny, let's go, come on, man, we don't have all day.
Hey.
Sophie in the game is represented by this glitchy red TV screen. She explains to Benny that her publishers are on their way to her house and they need to run the final test build of the game.
Do I have a choice?
Okay, you are not hearing me. I said today is your last day as a test dummy. So first of all, you're welcome.
Wait, really? Oh, finally.
Benny seems pretty pumped for this to be his final run. And based on the earlier line of "do I have a choice?" looks like Benny has been in this unfinished game for a long time. For y'all that have played any of the Uncharted games, you might recognize Benny's voice, because that is Nolan North, the voice of the clumsiest man in gaming history, Nathan Drake. By the way, I also have plans for completing the 4 main Uncharted games. That's just like longer down the pipeline, okay? Back to Benny and Sophie. Benny is super excited to be the lead character in this new up-and-coming game. Benny starts to run through the facility as Sophie follows behind him, making sure everything's, running smoothly. Sophie really hopes that everything is perfect. Benny learns how to jump, climb, vault, slide, the essentials. Sophie also confirms that the respawn system is working properly, and Benny does this epic bar swing.
Hey!
What? What's wrong?
You want to make this faster? Maybe cut some of these jumps.
Okay. Solid suggestion.
By now, you're probably wondering why Benny is sentient or how he is sentient, and there's no answer. By the fact that Benny's mouth doesn't move when he talks, I would assume that Sophie didn't intend for Benny to be sentient. I like to think it just happened one day, like night at the museum, but, less piss. Sophie then decides to try to make it a little bit harder for Benny, introducing lasers that he needs to slide under, and a moving truck. Now that was epic. Benny learns how to wall jump as these containers come falling down on him. The camera perspective then shifts into 3D.
Okay, do you like this camera angle, right? Because I feel like, I think it adds juice, right?
Juice? What the hell does that mean?
I think it definitely adds juice. I really like the transitions. Then Benny starts to mock her about the bridge.
You didn't update this bridge at all?
She just fucking hit him with a wrecking ball. He also respawns out of a recycling can. That's really cool. Sophie then transforms the bridge into a wall running segment, and Benny mocks her, of course, for doing this.
Haven't you already made this redundant?
Redundant, seriously? You think this is redundant? Whatever, you think nothing I make is original.
Perspective shifts back into 2D as Sophie gets super pissed at Benny. She decides to destroy the boiler room. Benny runs for his respawnable life as debris falls down above him.
What the hell are you doing?
He pleads for her to stop, but it keeps going until Benny falls into the void. Benny wakes up and yells at Sophie.
What the hell was that? Why am I having to deal with your mistakes?
That's your job! You're a test character!
If I'm just a test character, then why bother? So I can wake up tomorrow and see that you still haven't made any progress?
I don't want your ideas or your suggestions. I know what I'm doing. Just keep going.
Okay. Whatever you say.
This interaction makes it bluntly obvious that Benny is tired of testing. He's tired of being used as a tool to just point out flaws in a game. And Sophie makes the point that he is a test character. That is what he is supposed to do. The only reason it's a problem is because he's sentient, and he feels it every time he responds. Sophie is clearly under the stress of making a game, and that's no easy task. Imagine if you were trying to make a game, and the characters could mock you about how bad you are at making a game. That sounds like hell. That is such an awesome concept. I absolutely love it. Benny makes his way through the factory, jumping over conveyor belts, sliding under lasers, swinging over bars. And at the next checkpoint, the perspective shifts back into 3D.
All right, let's try it at this angle.
Oh yeah! People are gonna love the constant camera switching. Can you say nausea?
Benny gets knocked off and has to try again. Once he makes it to the end, there's a bunch of boxes he has to parkour over. Like a boss! Benny eventually makes it to a ladder.
Jesus, I have to climb this? Ladder to nowhere. Sounds like a song. Ladder to nowhere! Oh, now I get it.
What a goober. Why did I write that line? It was so why? Once at the top, a scene gets loaded called Subway Station. Benny is confused why the subway is empty, like there's no trains or anything. So he assumes it just isn't finished yet. But then all of a sudden... Benny wakes up on the train in pain.
Oh, I hated that.
Well, aren't you glad to respawn in the train?
Oh, respawning sucks.
Benny runs through the train till...
Surprise! A brand new section to test.
Wait, so now I'm on a subway. This doesn't make any sense.
Sophie then deactivates the train so Benny can get off. Not like that. He swings his way into a gated off part of the subway, finds a few new obstacles, but nothing much. Sophie then gets a great idea. She non-stop sends the train barreling towards Benny. He escapes the train by getting onto the platform. It's really funny, on the platform it actually says no Bennies on the train tracks. Benny actually compliments Sophie that says this section is really fun, and it is.
Actually, this place is pretty fun.
Wait, you really like it? Oh my god, okay, yes. Thank you so much. Actually, I think it needs more trains.
Benny makes his way up the stairs into an awesome perspective shift. Benny's got a wall run across these two trains so he doesn't get electrocuted. Benny finds himself at the end of the dilapidated subway, but something goes wrong. The end credit scene tries to load, but it fails. So Benny slips through two walls with an exit sign above it.
Okay, so if I take the shipping containers and combine them with the conveyor belts and have the subway cars moving... Yes! Okay, there is no way anyone has seen anything like this before.
Hey! Hello! I see you're satisfied. Everything works great. Can I move to the next build now?
Seems like Sophie can't hear him. So Benny heads to the right like he always does, and he finds a bunch of bodies chained up floating in a red void.
Whoa. Wait.
He also sees a bunch of robots that look like different versions of him.
Wait, are these all me? Where am I?
Look, Benny, the game still needs a few more tweaks. You need a few more tweaks.
I'm confused. You said it was my last day.
It is. For your character model. I have to replace it with something more final.
You lied to me. How long have I been doing this?
Sophie says she's been working on this game for 4 years now, and Benny can't believe his ears.
4 years.
Okay, well, some games take 10.
No. You know what? I'm not waiting around for that. I'm getting out of here. I'm getting out of here right now.
Benny takes off as Sophie whispers sweet nothings into his ear.
I'm sorry, Benny, but I can't let you go.
I ain't going anywhere, baby. Sophie tells Benny that she needs his data. Then she sends killer robots after him.
Chase him down.
Okay, I did a really bad job at explaining this at the time, so I'm just gonna re-explain it. This is my running theory of what's going on. The past 4 years, Benny has been Sophie's main character model. Every time Benny dies or has to respawn, the old body gets like torn apart for its data and then placed in a new body at the newest respawn point. Benny, I don't think he feels the being torn apart part, but he feels respawning. But if Sophie is changing the character model itself, Benny is afraid he'll be dead forever. But our Benny has got to get the fuck out. As he runs away, we see a lot more of the old Benny bodies. Benny swings over the death pits, slides under the lasers as Sophie sends more bots after him.
My publisher wants a franchise, a cute character, marketable, easy to make a plush out of. Personally, I think you are so cool. But they are looking for something else.
Benny finds himself in a room full of old bot Benny bodies. Old bot Benny bodies. Old bot Benny bodies.
Honey, are you fucking kidding me?
He luckily escapes and makes it to a bridge.
No! No, please, I'm begging you. Put me in the final game. I can be cute. I can be functional.
I wish it were up to me. The publisher controls everything.
But it's your game. Why do you need to listen to them?
Because this is a huge opportunity for me.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you should sacrifice your integrity just for the sake of selling some toys or plushes or whatever. You're good at what you do.
You know what? You're right.
After a brief conversation and a questioning of creative integrity, Sophie decides that Benny is enough for the final game because, like she said, Benny is really cool. And I would totally buy a plush of Benny. He would go over there with my automaton. Sophie activates the exit bridge. Benny nods to Sophie and makes his way across. No robots attacking him, no publisher breathing down our neck, only our own creative decisions and our integrity intact.
Walk through that door to enter the final build.
Hey, thank you for this.
Benny walks up to the precipice and tells Sophie,
We're gonna knock him dead tomorrow.
Yes, we will. Hey, it's Sophie. I've locked all my features. Oh, wait till you see my main character. I call him Benny. You are gonna love him.
Fade to black, the end. The credits roll, and it's really cool. It's actually showing test footage of the developers making this game about a developer making this game. Yeah. Okay, now I want to talk about the timeline and my theories on Try Again. Some of this I've already said, but I'm just going to reinstate it here for simplicity's sake. For the past 4 years, Sophie has been designing a game. So Benny has been the main character model, even if Benny's consciousness wasn't in it. It was always Benny. That was her idea of a main character. I am unsure of how Benny is in the game, but he is. Now, the website for Try Again does say a guy stuck in an unfinished game. So maybe Benny is a real dude who ended up in Sophie's unfinished game, but there is no evidence of that. Every time Benny dies or respawns, the old body gets scrapped for its data, put in a new body, and placed at a respawn point. The body has the same consciousness, but a different body. Unfortunately, Sophie gets a call saying that her publishers will be at her place tomorrow and she needs to finish the game. And Sophie panics, thinking that her publishers won't like Benny. She's not cute, it's not marketable. And when Benny learns of this, he panics. He assumes if Sophie changes the character model, that Benny will die and he won't exist anymore. And if he is a guy stuck in a video game, that'd be pretty bad. Benny tells her that she's a great creative person and she shouldn't care if Benny's not marketable if Sophie likes Benny. And Sophie does. Benny's really cool. Sophie chooses to keep Benny and lets him into the finished game. The game ends by Sophie calling her publishers and telling them that the game's almost done and they're gonna love Benny. Unfortunately, we do not see the finished game that Benny walks into, but I like to think it's amazing. And I really hope we get that game. If there is a sequel to Try Again, I really hope that it is the finished game. That would be really cool. I really don't have any other theories. He's somehow in the game, and I don't even think it needs an explanation. If there is a sequel, you don't even need to explain it. He's just a dude stuck in a video game. One weird thing that I found in the section where Sophie sends the train right at Benny, there is actually a Benny robot driving the train. I think it's just like a little joke that like Benny's driving the train, but Benny almost tried to kill Benny. And the brief conversation of like, Sophie's like, I need to change you, and Benny's like, no you don't, and then it's over. It was a bit short. I would have liked that conversation to maybe span longer, or just be a longer conversation. But the ending, once Benny crosses the bridge and he's like, thank you, and we're gonna knock this out of the park. It's beautiful. I love it. I love this game. I just love it. I wish it was longer just so I could spend more time in it. I could have totally played 8 hours of Benny and Sophie just like bouncing off each other. The perspective shifts, I love that. That's awesome. A sentient video game character and a video game designer communicating with each other isn't that far out there. There's games like The Stanley Parable and Portal where there's a power dynamic between the player character and the person leading the journey, but Try Again is a great spin on this concept, and I want to see a full game. The comedy is great. There is so much room for a sequel, and if the rejects are somehow watching this, I will be here when you guys make another game. I want you to go to the Try Again YouTube channel. They need more subs. I want them to feel like they can make a sequel, and people are gonna be there for it. I know I am. So thank you, The Viewer, so much for supporting this video. You are loved, and I will see you when I see you. Bye-bye! Oh, that fucking hurt.